So if you've seen my last video, I was chatting about the fantastic historical event that was AEW's All In at Wembley Stadium, and that was my longest video I ever done. It was a 45-minute plus video. I'll try and keep this one maybe a bit lower, so I will. But yes, before, as I said, I went to All In at London at Wembley, but the night before I was at another fantastic show. It was the 11th anniversary show for Rev Pro, and if All In was a celebration of professional wrestling, this was definitely a celebration for British wrestling. So it was indeed, it was a fantastic card. We also had a lot of guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling, obviously, who I'm a big fan of the New Japan, so I was quite happy to be there. But my goodness, didn't the UK scene shine that night? So it did. And we're just going to quickly go through the matches that happened. Because tell you what, you should definitely go and watch this show. There's some absolute bangers in this match. I think one of the matches might have been my match of the weekend. But let's get into this, because the opening. So before we had the opening match, we had a lovely, fantastic pre-show battle royale, and it was a contendership match for the undisputed British women's title. And I'll just give you quickly who was in the match. It was Danny Luna, Alexis Falcon, we had Chantel Jordan, we had Maya Matthews, Mercedes Blaze, Rain Leverkusen, we had Rayo and Sapphire Reed, we had Sky Smithson. They also had a nice big surprise as well. We had AEW's own Sky Blue entered this as well, and this was a fun rumble, of the fun little battle royale, I should say. And everybody sort of got their moments, got their spots in it, and it was a nice opening match. And Danny Luna came away with the win. Now she is now the #1 contendership for the undisputed British women's title. So I'll be looking forward to see what happens with that. But a nice battle royal to start the show off. And then we get into our first singles match, and what a way to open this show, with two of the best up-and-coming British names going right now, in Leon Slater taking on Dan Maloney. And if you've not seen Leon Slater before, the first time I saw him was at GCW last year. Fully impressed me. This kid is gonna say kid. This guy is going to go play. He's already been over to America, working GCW over there and other independents. He is a young up-and-coming high flyer, and he just looked fantastic. And Dan Maloney too, who also I saw for the first time at GCW TNT last year, and who's also been absolutely killing it in New Japan. He is currently one half of the IWGP Junior Tag Team titles, I think. I need to go double check that. But he is also now part of the War Dogs in Bullet Club as well. He's playing a fantastic heel over there. And these two just fantastic opening match, definitely. And Dan Maloney, I think, went out of his way to definitely make Leon Slater a bigger star, because Leon Slater picked up the win in this match, and it was just a fantastic back and forth with the high flyer against the brawler. I really enjoyed it, and this was a fantastic opening match for the fans. So yes, I would definitely go your way to watch that match as well. And then after this, wow, we had a Rev Pro undisputed British Cruiserweight title match for a 6-way scramble match indeed. And yes, my goodness, there was so much going on in here. So in this match, we had Connor Mills, and then it was Connor Mills taking on Callum Newman, who I've been told a lot about by a lot of friends, and he was very impressed. I think Callum Newman is he's the current new member for the Empire, the United Empire in Will Ospreay's group, and it was him with Jordan Breaks, Robbie X, Shay Samuels, and Wild War. And my goodness, there was so many back and forth. There was so much going. I couldn't tell you what everything that happened in this match. There was so much going on, but everything was well put together indeed. And some of the sequences in this match, Robbie X, oh my God, Robbie X as well. I've seen him before, and fantastic. And Callum Newman, who I've been told a lot about, he very impressed in me in this match too. But yeah, in the end, we got a good winner, and it was Connor Mills picking up the win in the British. It was the British Cruiserweight title belt as well. I think that was him retaining the belt. But yeah, again, I rewatched this match again, and it was, goodness, so much happens. Seriously, I would go out your way. I mean, I would go out your way to watch the whole show. But if you want to play, if you're a person who likes a good scramble match, because I love all the GCW scramble matches, go watch this one, because my goodness, all these guys just shined and killed it in this match. So then, yep, and after that we had another singles match. And then again, as I said, this is sort of the start of like the British guys against sort of the Japanese people. I shouldn't really say that, but anyways, I mean, this again, the people from New Japan definitely help some of these British stars absolutely shine, and I will remember some of these names. But we had a great match between JJ Gale and he took on Kasai Fujita, and Fujita's obviously part of the TMDK, that is Zack Saber's group, obviously, and we were going to see him later on. But again, this was a fantastic little match as well. A lot of back and forth. This was more of a grappler match, this one indeed. And yeah, a fantastic win for JJ Gale, who managed to, I think I remember this, he tapped out Vegeta in this match as well. But again, like, it was cool seeing Vegeta as well. Like, I've been wanting to see that guy for a while. And this was, again, another great match to show off how good the UK wrestling scene is. And I said, JJ Gale, he is definitely one I'm going to be keeping another eye on as well. And then we get to, well, I think it was one of the matches I was looking forward to the most for a particular wrestler indeed, because we got a tag team match, and this was a full-on New Japan match pretty much. We had from the Bullet Club War Dogs, we had David Finlay, who's the current leader of Bullet Club, and Gabriel Kidd, who has been, let's say, he has been on a bit of a warpath. So he has came out of nowhere, and he has been killing it for the UK scene out in Japan as well. We obviously saw him, I think he was in the G1 as well, and I think he had a really good G1 as well. It definitely gets his name out there. And they came out with Gedo as well. I actually didn't think I didn't know that Gedo was going to be at this show. So getting to see Gedo, the New Japan booker, yeah, it's kind of something special. Like I like Gedo. You know, he's a good guy. And they were taking on the team of the returning, coming home to Rev Pro, El Phantasmo, ELP coming out, and he was tagging with one of the big names I was hoping to see that weekend, and the man himself, in Kazuya. I can never get his bloody first name right, but it was Shibata. And trust me, if you see my clips while I'm filming on my phone, you can hear me screaming for Shibata. I was over the moon to finally see the wrestler in Shibata, and trust me, everybody else was chanting his name and waiting for him to get that tag. But this was another great little backer. El Phantasmo, he was just fantastic in this match. This match was definitely a way for, it was more about El Phantasmo's homecoming, but it was also trying to make Gabriel Kidd look good as well for the UK audience. And these guys had a really good back and forth match. Shibata as well. Just every time, I love when Shibata takes forearms and then he just no sells. And I know some people don't like that, but it's like it's a style in Japan, the strong style. Like, I remember a spot where Gabriel Kidd would forearm down into the corner, and then Shibata would just rise back up. He would do it again, and then Shibata would just rise back up again. And just for me, you know, to be honest here, like, I might have not been paying as much attention to the match as I should have been when I watched home. But at the event itself, I just couldn't keep my eyes off Shibata because I'm just staring, like, that's Shibata. So yeah, if you can't tell watching this video, I was very excited to him. And obviously we had it was the faces going over. So El Phantasmo, he picked up the pin as well. Him and Shibata, you know, picking up the win together. And it was just a feel-good moment for the crowd. And I said, everybody just appreciating that we got to see Shibata in the ring again in the UK. So look, I hope Shibata comes back. I hope he comes back soon for more shows, because I would definitely love to see him in a singles match at some point. But yes, one of the highlights of my weekend, so it was. And then if I go down, wow, another highlight for my girlfriend's weekend, so it was. We had a fantastic non-title match. It was a nice singles match indeed. We had Ricky Knight Jr., who I believe is the nephew of Soraya in AEW, and he was taking on one of the UK's absolute finest grapplers, one of the finest technical wrestlers in the world, actually, in Zack Sabre Jr., who my missus is a very big fan of. She loves the cheeky boy attitude of Zack Sabre Jr. And again, this was another grappling match. It was another very technical, very well good. And Zack Sabre Jr. made, I must admit, I've never really heard of Ricky Knight Jr. before, but again, the quality of Zack Sabre Jr. making him look, and don't get me wrong, Ricky Knight Jr. was fantastic too, but the way Zack Sabre, you know, just helped this kid look fantastic in the ring, it was absolutely fantastic. And yes, Zack Sabre Jr., he came away with the win for this match. And yeah, we were just all happy to see Zach back in the UK, and like there was some definitely interesting chants. If you were at the show and during this match, we definitely heard some interesting chants. There was one in particular that most Scottish fans would probably chant this all the time. There was a definitely chant of F the Tories going on, but we all know Zack Sabre Jr.'s sort of views on the UK government at the moment. He definitely likes to shout out in his entrances in New Japan. But as I said, it was a great match. Great to see. I finally get to see Zack Sabre Jr. I've always enjoyed his work as well, and again, another fine wrestler from the UK scene as well. So let's just move down a bit here. Here's unfortunately the next match. It was the Rev Pro Undisputed British Tag Team Title match. And unfortunately, I missed quite a bit of this match. Unfortunately, you have to forgive me. I had to go get food. I hadn't eaten pretty much all day, and I needed to go to the toilet as well. Unfortunately, the queue was quite long as well, just for a couple of hot dogs. Unfortunately, so when I got back to my seat, unfortunately, I managed to catch the shenanigans that happened afterwards. But unfortunately, I kind of missed basically what was going on. But from my notes here, let me just get this right. Yeah, so from my notes here, it was subculture with Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, with Danny Luna at the side as well, defeating the Velocities in Jude London and Paris De Silva. And unfortunately, I got told this match. I've seen clips of this match. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and watch it again. Unfortunately, I've only watched. It's been a busy week. I'm very sorry. It's been a very busy week for me. But yes. I did go back and rewatch this match. It was a fantastic match. I was just gutted I didn't get to see it live, unfortunately. But look, as I say, my buddy who did watch the match sitting next to me when I got back to my seat told me, you just missed a banger of a tag match, and I feel quite bad at the time that I never got to see it live. But as I say, so after that fantastic tag match that I unfortunately missed live, we had one of the singles matches of my weekend, because we had the great Ishii from New Japan Pro Wrestling. I've been wanting to see the Stone Pitbull for a bloody while now, taking on Luke Jacobs, who I'll admit that's another British wrestling name that I've only just heard of. I'm still learning, obviously, but I'm always happy to see wrestlers I've never heard of, because I always get quite excited. And these two, my goodness, as I said, this could be my match of the weekend. These two just went to war on each other. It was a good titty slapping match, we'll say, and these two just chopped the absolute crap out of each other. There was a lot of great back and forth. I was near the end of the near falls and stuff that was happening at the end of this match. I was popping out of my chair, and the whole rest of the venue and the rest of the audience was popping out of their chairs. This I think could have been I got to the end of this match and I thought, whatever happens at All In tomorrow night, I think this might be my match of the weekend, because I really enjoyed this. I love a good strong style match, and Ishii brought out the strong style out of Luke Jacobs in this match. Indeed, he looked very impressive, and I keep saying this, the Japanese guys just really helped putting over the UK guys, and Luke Jacobs is another name I will be looking forward to seeing more of as well. But yeah, definitely a potential match of the weekend, this one. And to be honest, out of this whole card, if you had to pick out one match maybe to go watch, this is the one I would probably go and watch. The only one I might suggest is the main event, but we'll get to that later, so we will. But yes, Ishii, Luke Jacobs, go watch that match. That match was freaking awesome, so it was indeed. Now we get to a three-way match, which I'll tell you in a minute was almost kind of spoiled for me. So look, we had a great little women's three-way match with Alex Windsor. It was for the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's title, which we had a new number one contender from the Battle Royale. But in this match, it was Alex Windsor who was the champion, and it was her and Hyan, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Mickie James, which caught my eye. I didn't expect that one to be on the card, and everybody was very happy to see Mickie James. I got told very good things about Hyan as well, and they did not disappoint. However, I will get to one little point. This great match, go watch this match, like a nice little three-way match. However, there was a constant chant. I'm trying to remember the chant now. I think it was Hardcore Country. I think everyone kept chanting. It was basically one group of guys and one other group of guys trying to out-chant each other. And about halfway through this match, I think the majority of people in the crowd were getting quite frustrated, because I'm trying to concentrate on this match, and I've got these group of people behind me just... You think halfway through the match they bloody stopped, but no, they kept going. Almost ruined the match for me, so it did a little bit. But look, I went back and I watched it on my television. I thoroughly enjoyed the match a lot more. And yes, Alex Windsor, she picked up the win. So I think she retains. Yeah, I think she retains her British women's title. It was a good little. It was a great little three-way match. But you know, that chant was doing my nutting. Anyways, so let's move on. Because we come to the last two matches of the night. So the second to last match, the sort of semi-main event, I would call it, was the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight title match with two guys I've been wanting to see for a while. We had Michael Oko taking on Trent Seven, and Michael O came out with his missus, Maria, and there was also Levy Murr coming out with Trent Seven, and wow, this was just madness. So it was. Michael Oko, the first time I saw that guy was his 5-star rated match with Will Ospreay last year. Was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year. And that match blew my bloody mind, so it did. So I was very looking forward. And we've seen Trent Seven before. Obviously, he's been on AEW as well, too. He had a match. I think it was Moxley. Was it Moxley who was wrestling? I think it was. But anyways, look, these two had a great back and forth match. Again, I keep saying that. But look, I've got to say, like, there was two table spots in this match, where it was Maria. She went through a table with Trent Seven. The way I was sitting, it happened on the other side of the ring. So what I was told was the table did break for her, but then I think Michael Oko then went through a table, and that did not break. It was a bit of I think the legs went, but the table didn't snap. So it was kind of an eye on the table moment. But there was some really good spots in this, and this was a more, I would say, definitely more story-based match indeed. And Michael Oko, he's going to be a future huge star indeed. Keep an eye out for him. He's kind of a name that everybody in the UK independent scene really knows now. If you're watching this in America, if you're anywhere else, keep an eye out for this guy. He is a true talent of the British scene. But yeah, he picked up the win. He is now the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion now. Thank God. I love Michael Oko, and he thoroughly deserved this. He looked fantastic. And again, another match you should definitely go and check out. And last but not least, we come to the main event. A big main event. A match I thought I would never get to see in my life. When they announced it, and I think it was the first match they announced on the card, I knew instantly, I'm probably going to go to Rev Pro. But my mates were messaging me, are you going to go to Progress? You're going to go to Rev Pro? There's other shows going on. The second they announced this main event, I knew exactly where I was going, because we had the absolute phenomenal Shingo Takagi, who I've been wanting to see a while. He's one of my absolute favorite wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he was taking on possibly one of the best in-ring workers, probably one of the best professional wrestlers, not just in the UK, but in the world right now. Such a huge name, Will Ospreay. And I finally got to see Will Ospreay wrestle as well, and I'm a big Ospreay fan. And we all know that these two have had bangers in Japan, especially in the Best of Super Juniors, and more recently in the New Japan Cup. And I said, Shingo always has bangers. If you get a chance to, think it was Wrestle Kingdom 15 where he had an absolute banger with Jeff Cobbs as well. But look, I'm a big fan of Shingo, and we all knew this match was going to be fantastic. I said, I think the Ishii-Luke Jacobs match, for me personally, I think that was my match of the night, but this was a very, very close second, and we got an absolute fantastic match out of these two. We did get to see kind of all the classics from Will Ospreay, you know, the cheeky Nango kick. We got to see, I love when he does the hook kick stuff as well. There was Spanish flies, there was everything, and it's hard-hitting lariats from Shingo as well. Like, Will Ospreay, he knew he had a match the next night against Chris Jericho. He did not hold back in this match. None of these guys held back in this match. It was full on. This was I bet maybe not as good as some of the stuff they did in Japan, but still a bloody fantastic match indeed. My girlfriend was screaming at Will Ospreay. I think she has a thing for Will Ospreay. And these two, they just work so well together, and they've done so much. That's a pairing you could watch every week, and you would never get bored of these two watching every week. Wrestling. As I say, it was just getting to watch Shingo come out as well. to his theme, and he had the mask on. It was absolutely fantastic. As I said, I'm a big New Japan fan, and it's I wouldn't say it's rare, but I live in Scotland, remember, so traveling wise. But getting to see New Japan guys in the UK, I think the last time I saw New Japan guys myself live in the UK was 2018, when Ring of Honor came over and they brought over, let me get this right, it was Evil and Sonata when they used to tag Tarayano, and I got to see Tanahashi, for Christ's sake, wrestle. So yeah, when I seen the card and it was a lot of big Japanese names, I knew I had to go down because it was another opportunity for me to see more, New Japan guys as well. But I said this match was, it was fucking awesome. So it was, and obviously we all know, with the home crowd, who was going to go over. We all know Will Ospreay was going to win this match, and deservedly so. He was brilliant as well. Always, he's one of. I might just say he's probably the best in-ring worker in the world right now. Some people might disagree. Don't get me wrong. There's other brilliant names in there as well, but like we all knew, the back of my head coming into this show, like when I was booking the tickets, I didn't think about this, but when I was at the show, I thought we're gonna get a run-in from someone, aren't we? And sure enough, where I was sitting, I was at the upper ball section. I had a great view of the entranceway and the ring. I had a great view. Actually, I think anywhere you were sitting in the Copper Box Arena, you probably have a really good view. Fantastic little venue. And I saw a masked man coming from the corner, and I thought to myself, who do you think this is going to be coming in to attack Will Ospreay right now in a Lucha Libre match? Well, we already knew it. And the second, obviously, if you didn't know who it was, then you definitely did know when he out of nowhere just hits the code breaker, hits the Judas effect. Oh wait, who do you think it's going to be? Yes, Chris fucking Jericho was in the Copper Box Arena. This was my first time getting to see the guy sort of live, and I was like, we all knew it was kind of gonna happen, but it was still cool nonetheless. There's Chris Jericho, one of the goats of professional wrestling, in the Copper Box Arena at Rev Pro. But so he came out, and it was he got the booze. He was giving the finger to everybody. It was classic Chris Jericho, an absolute classic Chris Jericho run in, setting up obviously their fantastic match they had at Wembley Stadium. But yeah, at the end of this show, it was fantastic. The Rev Pro knocked it out of the park, and I've been wanting to try and get myself to a Rev Pro show for quite a while now, and this was the perfect opportunity for me. The plus side, getting to see the New Japan guys, getting to see the absolute, let's face it, the cream of the crop when it comes to the UK scene. And this show is definitely a great example to show the world why we have one of the best scenes going right now. And there's so many young, talented, fantastic professional wrestlers. I'm just looking at the card again on my phone. Just look at all these brilliant names, from Leon Slater to Callum Newman to Robbie X to Gabriel Kidd to to Alex Webster, to Ricky Knight Jr., Zack Sabre Jr., Michael Loco. The list goes on how great our UK scene is, and it's absolutely it's mind blowing. And I feel like very proud to be involved in the UK scene, involved in all of this. I'm very proud of it, definitely. So look, if you get a chance, go watch this show, please. It is absolutely, there wasn't. The whole weekend from two shows, there was I didn't see a bad match at all this whole weekend. And there was definitely, I must admit, as I keep saying, the Ishii Luke Jacobs match, go watch that match. That match was stinkingly good. Absolutely. I think that, I'm probably going to say it, that might be my match of the weekend. I think my favorite match from All In, I think, was the FTR Young Bucks match. That was fucking awesome as well. But yeah, Ishii Jacobs and Ospreay Shingo was just mind-blowing stuff. So it was. And depending on the card next year, I might have to go to the 12th anniversary show as well, because if they put on another card like that, it was fantastic. So look, yes, a bit late with this review, so I was, unfortunately. I have had another busy week working and stuff and that. But look, I'm going to try and get back to more videos, unfortunately, more videos to upload. I've got obviously more news coming from Bleeding Gums, Scotland's newest deathmatch promotion, because they've definitely put out some more interesting news as well. So look, anyways, I hope everyone's having a good day. I know this review is not as detailed as what I had before. My brain is still like mushy peas, unfortunately, and I actually need to go get some sleep, so I think. So look, anyways, as I said, go watch the show. It was brilliant. Well done to Rev Pro. Thank you to everybody that was involved in that show. It was a great way to kick off my weekend. Got me hyped up for the next day, especially as well. We're going to Wembley Stadium. And look, I will see you guys hopefully again for more videos. I'm going to go lie down or grab a cup of coffee or something. So I am. And you guys, I hope you guys all have a fantastic day today.
Your father!